But like Mr. Donahue, kinda.
No, Mr. Donahue's not it at all.
Oh, I thought you guys are both it.
No, just me.
But like he's our helper.
Just take it back for me.
He's the more moral support.
Yeah.
He's the advisor's moral support.
Okay, so guys, starting a new chapter, we're talking about systems of equations. So again, a lot of times you're going to feel like Algebra 2 is just a review of Algebra 1 because a lot of times it is. So this is definitely one of those sections that is the case for that. And no, we are not going outside in the rain. So final answer. So
What about this? Some people that are.
oh, because then you come back in and we're all wet feet and
I'll take
squeaky.
my shoes off.
No,
Your moccasins.
it's like sideways rain right now.
I have moccasins too.
Okay, so guys, for the warm up, knowing how to graph a linear equation is super important in order to do our work today. Because if you can't graph your linear equation, all the rest of what we're doing today is going to have an issue. So we need to get it in what form?
Slope intercept.
So, which is why we just did the chapter we did, y equals mx plus b. Try to get that y alone so we can figure out what the m is and what the b is. So in this case, we need to do what?
Divide by 2.
So dividing everything by 2.
You gotta say it before kids again.
And so even though 3 is not divisible by 2, that's okay, because that's just the slope. So 3 over 2x, and then 6 over 2 is 3. So there's our equation.
Ew.
So we're going to begin at -3 on the y-axis.
Now it's even
That raccoon that you hit is getting a good soak.
Oh.
I couldn't swerve, otherwise I would have gotten in an accident.
Yeah, it's a good idea not to swerve
And
to.
then her mom pulled over and took a picture of it and is gonna put it in my scrapbook.
She sent me a text.
Is it
I
your-
was like, you can.
Is it your first roadkill?
Yeah. I was like, you did not pull over to take a photo of the raccoon.
Well,
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, now you just made it weird, right? So.
He's just gonna laugh now.
I know. All right.
What makes you laugh? Ice Age?
No. Okay. So guys, we'll graph our linear equation. It's kind of the most important thing we're going to be working on today. So what we're going to be doing is solving systems of equations, which is 2 equations with 2 unknowns, so 2 variables. All right. So a system of equations.
I came in to get air to his head and you're both just laughing.
Okay. So for what we're doing today, we're going to get both equations in y equals mx plus b form, because we're going to graph both of these equations. And then we're going to have 2 variables, which is typically our x and y. And we want to find what they have in common, like what is like the same for both of them. So what's the x and y that they both share? And the way we do that with graphing is pretty clear where that solution is going to be. If I have 2 lines on a graph, where would their solution be?
Also on the graph.
Also on the graph. Yes, that's true. But specifically where on the graph? So if I have 2 lines, where would the solution be? Where they cross. So the solution is going to be at the intersection. It's where the x and y are the same. They have the same x and y. Now your book uses some words with this that I'll tell you right now that I forget to use them all the time, and I don't probably even remember most of the time. If your book asks or uses these words or asks about this, So if it has one solution, we say it's consistent and independent. So your book might use these words, and I just don't want you guys not to know what they're talking about. Like I said, I always forget to use those words. Now, what would the graphs look like if there was no solution? It wouldn't cross, so what do we call those? Yep, parallel lines. So parallel lines have no solution. So that's when we use the 0 with the line through it, saying there's an empty set, there's no solutions. And this, rather than being consistent, we'd say this is inconsistent. Again, this is just, I will never ask you these words, your book might, the ones with the little bullet points. I just don't want you to not know what they're talking about. Which is another word for no solution. And then finally, how about many solution? Where would that show up? So if I was graphing, what's it? Not perpendicular necessarily, yeah. Yeah, how two straight lines meet at multiple points, yeah.
They're on the same line.
They're actually the same line, so it's the same line over and over again. Has many solutions, they mean many times.
What? So it's the same line. This is when we say infinitely many solutions, or Oh, infinite. I was like,
infinite. That's a little 8 on its side, infinitely many. And this one is consistent because it has a solution, but this one's dependent. And again, these little bullet points, just something the book uses, and I just want you guys to be comfortable with them if you see them. All right.
all right.
So the first problem, it wants us to do this problem without graphing at all. So it wants you to kind of bypass the graphing part, and it asks us if it's a solution for the system. So is 3-1 a solution to the following system? What do you think needs to be the case if it is? How do I know that is that a solution for the system? What would I do to figure that out? Put it in, and what does it need to do?
Equal your thing.
So how do I know? So if I put it into the equation, how do I know it works? If they equal each other. So I have to put it in, and it's got to work in both equations. So it must work in both. So I'm going to test it by putting the x and y in. Now you could have graphed this, but since we didn't have graph paper like sitting right there, we can just test that solution. So I'm putting that into the equation. So 3 minus 1 should be 2, so that one works, but it has to work in both. But notice they got a little tricky there. Put the y first,
Oh, shoot.
and the x second.
Yeah.
So this works in both.
You did not do a computer class, so
Oh my goodness.
just pointing that out.
See, I don't want to do it for her.
Oh, okay, just kidding.
I have one for tomorrow.
I could do it, would you rather?
Yeah.
Oh, you go.
I mean, I'll do like words.
It's not a bad one.
You would lay outside when it's raining and then you gotta try to keep your eyes open.
You got glasses on though.
Yeah.
You have like a
Okay, I'll take
unfair
glasses
advantage.
off.
All right, so we're gonna solve this by graphing. Now, to solve by graphing, we're gonna hope that the intersection's a really nice point and easy one to work with. We're gonna do more examples of these in a second with like kind of a worksheet or activity I have for you guys. So the first one's already in slope intercept form. So I don't have to get that one in that form. So I'm going to begin that one at -7. And then I'm going to go up 1 over 1. Oh, you know what, guys? I don't know if I have enough graph paper. Or homework.
Guess you can't do our homework.
I will get graph paper.
Did your son think that we were weird yesterday?
What?
Did your son think we were weird yesterday?
Oh, you did.
I think the dog thinks we're weird.
I brought my dog and Griffin to.
I didn't know Mookie was that small.
Yeah, I
She's
thought she
petite.
was bigger.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
petite. I don't think she's gonna get very big. All right, the next one we have to get the y alone. So we're gonna divide by 4. So what's the slope in this case? -1/4.
Good job,
And
man.
then -8 over 4 is gonna be a -2.
Yeah.
So this one will begin at -2 and go down 1 and over 4, and they actually already hit at that point. So my intersection is the solution for this system. So I can use that graph to come up with that solution, which would be that coordinate point. And we have to be careful with coordinate points, it's always x before y. So what's that coordinate point gonna be? 4, -3. Great. Okay, like I said, we'll do one more, and then I have like kind of a worksheet riddle type thing for you guys to do to kind of do some more of these.
Inside.
We're doing that inside. Your paper will get wet. Okay. All right. So, where does the top equation begin? Careful on this one. Where does that begin? At 0. There is no b in this case, so it begins at 0. And my slope, since it's in front of the x, is a down 5 over 1. So this steep downhill graph here. The other equation I have to get into slope intercept form. So I need to move that x over.
And then divide by 2.
Yep, and I'll divide by 2. Divide everything by 2. So we're going to begin at 9. And then we're going to go down 1 over 2. And if I keep going that way, I'm not going to hit any of the dots I want to. So I have to reverse it. Up 1, back 2. And then it's going to intersect with that other line. So our solution is kind of back up over. So again, our solution is where the 2 lines cross. And so that's going to be -2, I believe, 10 in this case. X and Y. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys all this worksheet, and I kind of want you guys to maybe you can choose someone to work with on it, and like say I'm gonna do the odds and you do. Actually, don't do like odds and evens, like split it up with someone and kind of compare your answers. Don't suggest someone do the top row and somebody else do the bottom row, because the top row is easier unless you want to make it easier on somebody. But you can work through it or talk through it with somebody else here. There's 8 questions, so if you break it up, then you don't have as much to do, but
What
And
did
it's a
the
little
teacher
riddle.
do with Ogre's cheese report? Who's Auger?
Huh?
over.
Audrey.
It's that guy with the cheese.
I bet it's gonna be red.
No.
So I need to go pick up some graph paper, so I'm gonna bring graph paper and come back.
You'll do one, I'll do two, and then I'll do three. I'll do this with this, this, Is that okay?
So I do 1, 2, 7. What I gotta do?
You have to do three, and then
6. Because you're a little chimichanga.
chimichanga.
So is Garrett.
I'm gonna pick up printer, like your graph paper.
Wait, what am I supposed to do? 1?
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, and I said. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I have to do 8. No, I didn't want to sleep.
Yeah.
I just finished juicing.
Guys, I only did the first one.
So maybe do at least third one.
Which one's the third one?
Do 7.
7 or
Because I was looking to see what happened. Indeed. Did the chicken like the comment? Did the chicken like the comment?
Did who?
What do you got? Some time to okay again.
We really are talking.
Okay, so I got CH.
Okay, this is the
Circle it.
Right, 80, and that's 2, and then 2. So. Someone should have.
How you guys doing?
My river doesn't seem like it makes sense.
Does chicken did it just say? Okay, now Kinsey's saying I did the wrong thing.
I don't know, wait, I think it just said he grated it as cheese, but for some reason, he didn't get crushed out. So did one of them not? Oh, nobody did.
That was yours.
Oh, it's mine.
I didn't. Grab it. What? Wait.
I don't know how to graph it, but I realized they didn't have it.
Oh,
Maybe, I don't know. I'm so confused by
okay,
number 6.
okay, then some.
Oh, number 6. I don't know.
No.
So we're supposed to do, guys, we're supposed to cross off if you get one of the answers. So like, if you got like -3, 1, you would like cross that one out.
So this would be -4, this would be -3. Or whatever, I don't know. I'm not a
riddle type of
I'm not a riddler. Is that a bead?
Sticker.
Oh, Bart was putting beads down my shirt last class. Behind me, so we're gonna go like, let's put beads down there. Where do you get the beads? I don't know, art class. Forgot my water bottle.
Maybe average.
What? Look at my paper then, Kinsey.
Yeah.
I give it to you guys.
Again.
Oh, wait, no, that's not.
This one's Carlos, there's no solution.
All right. So guys,
There's.
if you guys, you and your partner, one of you or both of you can come up and cross off one of your solutions up here. So like, you cross off the solution that you got.
So it really looks
Come
like
up.
2, 2.
Do we only do one?
Each of you can do one.
Sorry.
Well,
Hang on, so
I'll do this one.
So it's supposed to be just, the only ones that aren't crossed out.
Yeah, just one. One that you found.
Get it? 'Cause it's cheese.
Sorry. But I did negative wrong. Negative.
We still got an hour.
I know, I don't know what, I looked at my pacing for last year and I don't know what else I'm doing with them.
I think we played with raptor.
Yeah. You would be great.
Like,
But we maybe have a little more brain break.
yeah. Right, so now go up there.
Okay, yeah, we need a few more people.
Okay, I'll go up there.
I mean.
Hey.
Whoa.
Hey. Should I cross
Nick,
off
get up
this
there.
one?
Okay, cool.
I did.
No, only one answer.
One answer.
Oh my
gosh.
Okay.
Or ready to do it.
Yeah.
There's some more volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
So cross off one that you
Yeah.
got, cross off the ones you actually got. Are you having any issues with any of them?
And for the amount of time
The first one?
Okay.
To go to Santa back here.
Yeah, be quiet.
You would.
Oh, you started at -1 on the y-axis.
Yeah. I'll try that then.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
You look closest to me.
You really don't have that.
I'm not actually, I'm just fixing the ones that were already crossed out, so someone else could do it.
We're still waiting on four,
Oh.
three more people.
Hey,
to come.
No.
I'm gonna erase that. I will erase that.
No, you're not gonna do
You're
it.
the second last one.
It's blue.
Yeah, the fourth last one.
You already did one.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah, he's gonna erase it.
Carrots.
Oh,
You guys, stop.
I did the wrong one.
What are you guys doing?
Jared, why would you?
Carrots. Whoever's watching this is gonna be like, what?
Oh, I forgot who was watching. I'm sorry, person, people on the list.
New shirt from Old Navy, only $8, you know.
So, can you
Carrots.
divide by 5 here, so that's -4, and you go up 7 over 5. Then you divide this one by -3.
That's fair.
Or Z.
Yeah.
I'll take Z.
Yeah, so you start at -4. So
Z or.
then, well, yeah, you can.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, you are the same stuff. And so actually, you're at you can So,
What?
yeah, sorry, those of you guys online, I forgot you guys were there. So I apologize. Not that you're not important, but, so
What?
these, practice problems were to get you guys to just do some more of the graphing. If you have any issues with them, I'd be glad to talk to you guys about them. But you're left with, it said, what did the teacher do with Ogre's cheese report? And then he graded it, like, the way it's spelled is cheese graded
It's granted.
I'm gonna guess because it's like a cheese.
grader.
Yeah.
That's so silly.
So funny.
I figured it was a cheese joke and we're from Wisconsin.
It's cheesy.
Oh, okay. Graded. Okay. But the word, when you say you're gonna grate some cheese, it's spelled this way. I'm talking about. Okay, so guys, I messed up. I don't know how this lesson was so short. I don't know
We're just so
what,
smart.
yeah, you guys are way smarter than my students last year. So-
It's sunny.
So homework is listed here. Those of you guys, are gonna probably want some graph paper. Those of you guys online, I'll post some online. I realized I did not do that before. The rest of you guys, I'll pass it out to you. Make sure you guys follow, what they're asking there.
Can I pass out the paper?
Sure.
Are you making fun of my pajamas yet?